put this in this room, and I do want to get to our routine soon, but I just wanted to do this quickly, or to the next thing in the routine. But it is a Sunday, so that's good. Although I'm quite chilly. I was in the AC, and I don't know, I've just been a bit chilly, so looking forward to getting into one bathing, having some coffee. Um, I think she's getting through it. She seems to be able to. I don't want to waste too much time here because unless I specify, at what point to come into things. And I've lost a loved one who passed away in their sleep, and a lot of us have. So I really didn't want to do this in the bedroom. I feel the presence of loved ones throughout the rest of the house, and I guess that's nothing new. But the bedroom we associate with sleeping, right? So I just wanted to come and do this podcast. Before kind of just want to check something really quickly. And interesting that this closet mirror is kind of open. He hasn't started the thing outside, and I'd be surprised if it isn't too chilly out. Sometimes we want to protect our loved ones. There's so many things that go through your head, There's you want to get all the special moments in. You want to make sure the goodbyes are said. You want to this, you want to that. And then there's also where we want to, this is a shared channel, where we want to protect our loved ones, from as much pain and grief as we can. But you know what? It is a part of life. Um, and got somebody here, yeah. So it is a part of life, but enjoying the last bit of nice weather as it Moon Island skateboards. Hello, welcome. I don't imagine that is Aaron, but skateboarding is cool. First time on the channel. Just wondering how you came across it. Glad to have you here. Maybe a little early to say like, subscribe, and all that, but it is Aaron. Or I asked a couple things, sorry. But hope you will end up liking, subscribing, hitting the notification button. I don't really plan to roll very long. I'm still kind of feeling, coming from the really big, long podcast, thank you, that I did earlier today. And then I tried to have a lay down, and it was a mix of, like, I thought it'd be too warm with the AC off, but the AC on and it being quite chilly, because it is a bit chillier out now, and also a mix of another distraction, even close to the top of the nap, I went back and I saw this loved one. She was hearting the messages. I mean, it's actually not someone I'm hugely familiar with. Neither is the person that I'm kind of thinking of, but I have met her a few times. And she was hearting the messages and may even tune into this. And so this is a message for kind of someone in my blended family, but also anyone who might relate. And yeah, for Kathleen, though, especially. And I'm trying to decide if I should bring Kathleen's brother into this to say something. I'm also trying, hopefully, well, that's at 60%. I'm also trying to decide if I should, we both believe in the afterlife, and that, it is passing, but passing away to another realm, and that we can still feel energy and sometimes messages, perhaps. And so it isn't really farewell in that way. And that, or do I just let him write on her obituary or do whatever the family, we're in a different province, do whatever the family decides to do together, when the time comes. But why I started this video, and you may not have been here at that right exact moment, why I started the video the way I did was we put these things in the window to keep the sunlight out when we're, when having naps. We do have quite a bit of shade in the front yard. We were even talking about that this morning, but it's bright and it makes it harder to sleep. It's easier when it's nighttime, but and this never happens. The one sometimes, but the both of them must have fallen out of the window once, and then I think two more times right in the row, and then they stayed for a little while, and then they fell out again. And I couldn't but think, our one loved one is saying, Kathleen, and sorry, I'm just doing a bit of an intro, but our one loved one is saying that she isn't comatose, but she really, you were just about to leave anyway. You'd been there for a little while. She just has a hard time talking right now, right? So it would have been a bit tricky. And so and he's not his wisdom out yet. But and so and I'm curious for you to share what you've been through and what your beliefs are and what's resonating and all that. I not gonna roll super long. I don't intend to anyway. But yes, I don't know whether I should just let him write to the obituary and do the other stuff, come here and say something. But I just wanted to say something. Because this will be shown to our loved one who's in hospice right now, or palliative, whatever, same thing, right? And I hope she gets to hear the music too, and from the other side, certainly. And we do appreciate the loved ones that are in this. Should get to Alana as well. Make sure that the loved ones that are able to share with her, our music and our words, because we can't be there. And honestly, it's probably for the best that we aren't. To be there, feeling the energy of death more strongly would be really, I'm sure that all of us in our lifetime, if we haven't yet, will have to be by someone's bedside as they're dying. There are also lots of us that will just simply experience loved ones passing away, but not actually be there as they're dying. I honestly wonder if Ray actually was trying or just was waiting until after she passed away to come around in that. And I think that's really comforting. But so I understand that to the three of you here that this next part of this video or parts of this video may not apply that much to you, but maybe it'll mean something as well. I just wanted to say hi to Kathleen. I'm sorry that you've been in so much discomfort lately. As your cancer came back and you have your trach and things haven't been easy for you, and I know that. But you know that you have our love. You know that you're going to be going to a very beautiful and special place that sometimes wish that we could be so blessed to go to when we want to. Thank you. That, we could go there to be with our loved ones if we believe they're there, and I don't really understand why we would not. But at the same time, maybe it's easier in some ways to deal with death if you think that when someone dies, they're just gone. But then the thought of never seeing them again is not very great either, right? Thank you. Thank you. Curious where you're watching from, how old you are. And I love skateboarding. My brother used to do it. I don't really do it much. I was in a Tony Hawk movie. But anyway, yeah, I don't really know what else to say. Other than I'm sure and I hope that you will have a smooth transition. I don't know if you had anything to do with the window thing. Part of me wants to play Come to My Window by Melissa Etheridge. I thought of it in the earlier podcast, and then when that thing happened, I thought of it again. I don't know. Normally I'm doing something else after a nap, which I really didn't actually even have much of one, really. But the next thing that I want to decide, and if you have any questions, like, if people were to ask, I guess I would say that no, I don't work in hospice or palliative. I never have. Um, I hope this won't sound weird, but people do this. I would say, even though I'm still human, thank you. Uh, are you male out of curiosity or are you a female skateboarder? I'm just curious. I mean, I know lots of men are in touch with their emotions and that. Anywho, and it's been fluctuating between 3 and 5. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. Male, okay, I know what you meant. Anyway, and feel like everybody that's here right now is meant to be here. I often feel that, but you know what? We all go through this. So I especially feel it with something like this, though. Um, I would say that I'm a bit of a death doula. I don't really use that title, but being that I work in healing around death and grief, or I sometimes it's mostly for myself, and sometimes on here, I want to be doing that more because I know that it's powerful. I know that it's needed. Um, but yeah, I only met you, Kathleen, about you came here one summer. I think it was the summer that we went to Ontario, actually, and we made it back either just before or that was just before or just after, and the timing was, and I remember we went and visited a cemetery trying to find a couple graves in the rain, and I remember we went to a lovely lunch at that diner, and maybe we'll go back to that town, some of us, and think of you and know that you're with us. But you just remember kind, special people. You do. And so even though I met her once and we did a couple of video calls, and that was something we did recently. We did a couple of video calls and a regular call, and played some music for her too. And the loved one that reached out today, who I'm not super familiar with, and actually I don't think either of us really is, but I could be wrong. And why did you accidentally unlike, or what was that about? Anywho, said that one of her sons was reading something to her or something, and they let her smell flowers from her property, and I'm sure that you enjoyed those things. You enjoyed those moments, and you enjoyed those that are able to be there with you in the strength as much as they're able to have in your province that you're all in, and you enjoyed their presence. Now, okay, yeah, I see you redid it though, so I appreciate it. MBs are wrong. But my great auntie, which is interesting because I wrote a play once and I was collaborating with somebody, and instead of saying aunt, which only have one aunt and we always, said aunt, auntie was the phrase that was used by the one character. And my great uncle died to cancer. Yeah, and I've lost a few people to cancer. In fact, I can't remember why I was thinking of Leanne just earlier today. A different Leanne. But Monique, if you're watching this, please say something. And who else do we got watching? How is this resonating? Anyway, I have something I got to go. Oh, and you all left. But I'm thinking that may not have been intentional. But it is. It's a hard topic. I do understand that. I do understand that. And it's actually very interesting to see the word island in that username. I am a rock, I am an island. Because this loved one that we're talking about lives maybe not on Vancouver Island, but near there. And we never got to go there. We almost did, but just, she wasn't up to having company. There was so much, hopefully the phone won't die, but, she wasn't in a great state. We had to worry about who would watch our dog. get the time off work, which, didn't quite happen for one of us. And we knew it wasn't going to be a pleasure trip, so we didn't go there. And I think that Kathleen would understand, and she'd probably think, you know what? Yes, I don't want to hassle or inconvenience anybody. And that she really wasn't probably up to a whole lot anyway. But I know that she's valuing the visits that you're getting, and any of us that are able to visit loved ones that are dying know that they are. Know that they are, even if they're in a coma, they can hear you. I believe that. Um, Even if they've already passed away. And we can talk more about this perhaps in the coming week if you'd like to suggest a time that works for you. It is just after 5 p.m. here right now. Um, then we can talk about that and work on healing. But for now, what I'm trying to decide before I segue to the next thing, I really would like to maybe I'll just sing a little bit of it because I don't know what instrument I'd do it on, and I don't know if I really have the energy. Come to my window, come inside and wait by the light of the moon. Come to my window, I'll be home soon. Nothing about this love anyway. Something like that. And also prayers from Melissa in Alaska with the weather they're getting there. I don't know how close it is to her area. It's probably a bigger place than I realized. I didn't think that you would even get tropical storms. Anywho, the numbers have been fluctuating at the top. At the moment, it says 0. But I do have a burning question. Oh, okay, she is, eh? Ah! No way. Well, I'm gonna Aaron, are you there? Are you there, Aaron? Because I have a question for you. Um, and I sometimes maybe don't know even how to explain how this serendipitous between realms things works. I just know that there seems to be something to it. There truly does. Um, Now we do have one person here, whether it's our relative or not. I know she was trying to be here, may have been here at one point, but she's also had a pretty busy day, and I don't know what else is in her schedule. But I would mind some help trying to decide the person who I'm referring to most at this point in time. Um, Her brother lives in this house as well. Oh, hi, Aaron. So, are you telling me that you didn't see today's earlier video, which I didn't do that song? Oh, you figured out the technology. So, I thought you said you were watching. Okay, you didn't know how to comment it. I don't know how old you are or anything, but well, yeah, I guess you're probably in your 50s or 60s. Yeah, anyway, it's all good. Good to have you here. Remember to like and subscribe and all that. Yeah, so you're saying that you were singing that song that I ran through my mind while I was podcasting earlier. I don't even know why, but I didn't do the song. Okay, I'm just about 40 myself, and 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 I don't know if you were here. It was probably about the 7 to 8 minute area where I really got a bit specific with about for Kathleen. Although honestly, any of this, you know. Even if she's in a coma, I think we both are agreeing that, it might be worthwhile to play this for her. What I'm trying to decide now, because this is shared channel, what I'm trying to decide now is, and I don't think that he has started doing his other thing yet, um, I don't know if I saw you singing it last night. No, it just came to mind today, but it's interesting that you were singing it this morning. I think it's always going to be a special song for us because, yeah, I sent you the clip where that thing kept falling out of the window. And yeah. Anywho, what I'm trying to decide is if G, and you'll know what I mean by that, we're anonymous with our names on here, if I should ask him, get him into that mode. This Pat called a few days ago, the other sister, and said that the cancer came back and that she was in palliative and that. And I know some of the people may think this is quite personal, but you know what? We had to from a distance get the message to her and share our thoughts and share our singing. And I know you understand that, Aaron, and possibly Moonboard or whoever else is here. But um, what was I saying? Yeah. So basically, I don't know well, you can message us as far as what time you're thinking tomorrow, though he will probably be at work. So, like I say, and I don't know if she's planning to have a funeral. I don't know if we'd be able to get to it. We may just have to try and do something locally. I know, our angels, I don't even think really require us to. That's the stuff that we do for us. Is it special to them? Does it mean something to them? Sure. You know, one thing I wanted to share is while I was trying to nap, I was reminded of what I've had. I think it was Ray, but it may have been my dad. I can't remember. Angels say to me, not that long ago, they said that, well, a while prior to that, they said they do feel emotions, just not necessarily as strong as most of us humans do. However, they also feel the emotions that we're feeling. So if we're feeling pain, there, I figured she probably wouldn't want one, but which, you know, it's a little bit disappointing, but whatever. If they're feeling pain, or if we're feeling pain, they're gonna feel it too. Maybe not as strongly, and it's natural and it's normal. And I'm not saying don't feel pain. When when you're going through this kind of stuff. But what I would say is that try to focus more on the happy stuff. Now, what I'm trying to decide is if I should get her brother to come and say something. Part of me feels like he pretty much agrees with me that that even when she passes away, she's still with us in a different way. Then that I can, with my ability, bring that in for her, bring that in, bring that, connect them. That he's trying to enjoy the rest of his Sunday, even if it's a little on the cool side. And I'm not that this is it's hard, but it's and that he's trying to just kind of yeah. Um, so and it hasn't been a very busy day for us or anything like that. But what I'm trying to decide if is I should bring him in to say something as well, knowing that you're gonna hopefully get to, and we'll send it to Alana as well. Hopefully, get to share this with Kathleen, or if I should just say, if you really need to, you can write something on the obituary, or you can, I don't think that she would be upset if he didn't, and I don't know if he would be either. Some may say, why don't you go give him the option? I just don't even know if I want to mention it, to be quite honest. These comments are coming in while live. If they get comments afterwards, he would know about it. Otherwise, unless I show him, the videos that I make, unless I show him, he doesn't usually look back. He did say he wants to do more podcasting, and preferably not, close to bedtime. Wants to do some, was in the one earlier a little bit, but wants to do some podcasting, and if anything, although I don't know if I should say do it specifically for this reason, but if anything, I think it would make sense just to say, you want to play some of your favorite songs that mean something to you, and that's a lot of songs to him. Here, you want it to podcast. Oops, we briefly lost the connection. I do have to plug in the charger. Normally, I'd be hopping into the bath after the nap. So, I'm thinking it's Aaron we still got here. I don't know. I just have to plug in the charger. You might briefly lose me, but he's also enjoying the garden, while the flowers are still out. Um, and yeah, so I do want to get to my other things soon. If you haven't seen the channel before, hopefully you got something from this. Curious how you came across it. Remember to like, subscribe, hit the notification button. The two latter things do differ slightly. Um, I still have to remember to try and do that with Trey via the computer. But if you have any questions, I know I asked one about the other person in the home. Um, and yeah, um, yeah. And I feel deeply as well. That's the thing. Like, even though I only met this person a few times myself, um, I knew she was a good person. I know that she means a lot to her loved ones, and that her loved ones mean a lot to her. And I think that I've got a bit of a place in her heart too. And that's always a special thing when you get to be a part of someone else's heart. You know, when they, you know, um, when they know that you're special to someone that they love, and they take you in as well and make you feel special to them. When they enjoy your music, when they enjoy, and if she's able to say anything when you show these to her, whether it's typed, whether she types it or you type it for her, we'd love to hear it, I think. But yeah, Kathleen would be happy he's in the garden. Let's wait and see what's next. Okay, and I mean, you're right there with her, while she's going through this, and you've probably met him. I don't know. Have you? I know that the family's not sometimes the closest, but um, you know, I will trust that you know what's best, and hope that he accepts that. I think he will. I think he will. I still didn't really end up getting any more sleep in the nap. Okay, yeah, yeah. So I probably wouldn't recognize your name anyway. I still probably wouldn't get much sleep in the nap, um, and or didn't get much sleep in the nap, and I'm kind of still tired. Now that I've got this off my chest, right, right. I mean, he doesn't travel much, neither do I. But now that I got this off my chest, but I think I'm just gonna have a relaxing soak, and a part of me feels really bad. Part of me is still very drawn to saying, "You want to come in and say what you would like to say?" And like I say, part of me just doesn't want to go there, and it's my thoughtfulness for him, you know. But I do. I feel very mixed. Um, the screen is not open, so yes, you seem to be agreeing with me. So if he gets mad, I only have you to partially blame. No, but you know, we sometimes we don't know how to operate when these things happen, right? And yeah, what are you having tonight? And we only do our best. We only do our best. So, in closing, and it looks like there's nobody here at the moment. There was two. She did say she had to leave. Don't know the other one's excuse. But I do kind of have to go as well. So, oh, okay. You're still here. It's just inaccurate. Just hummus? It's ironic. We had a dill hummus in my one of my specialties that I got to share it with him for the first time. Specialties that I've been making lately. Um, yeah, I look forward to seeing you on our channel a lot more. Hearing the music, and it's about wellness, mental health, uplifting people, um, coming up with solutions to things, doing the music. So that sounds like a light lunch, to be quite honest. Are you sure you're not 60 or 70? um, but I guess, Aaron, for now, if I could leave you with anything else, you seem to be a person that kind of has similar type of thoughts to what I have, and you seem like you're you know you're pretty able to kind of you know manage your feelings in that. And I don't know about Patrick or anybody who's watching else may see this, but I guess yeah, just You know that we are thinking about you guys, and we're happy that you're there for her. And yeah, yeah, sometimes when these kind of things are going on in our lives, um, it's that battle that we feel, right? It's like part of us feels like, don't die, don't die, don't die. And part of us, especially if we're really, part of the care, some of us just kind of maybe feel like, I wish you'd hurry up and make your choice, because, it's very wearing, right? And I see. Yeah, I'm always looking for inspiration for what to eat, trying to eat better um, than all the carbs I already eat. But yeah, and it's understandable to feel those things. And but yeah, it'll happen when it's meant to. We just have to accept it when it does, right? Doesn't mean we have to like it. Doesn't mean we have to like it. But we have to accept it because, sometimes when things happen in life, we really see that there's no other choice but to do that. We just have to. Or as they like to say, it is what it is, right? But no, I definitely, I remember her as being a gentle, friendly person um, who, my only kind of regret, well, no, I think she just didn't get that message. Um, you know, um, yeah, yeah. I don't know if there's anything really else to say, to be honest. I know that she, you know, yeah, yeah. If you are able to get her to relay something to you, I mean, even with the ability, I guess if I had a question for her, like I don't fear death. I fear how it would happen, and I hope it wouldn't be something that is a long process for me. And those that we leave behind, although sometimes it feels like it's not many, and sometimes it does. But I guess if I had a question for her, if she's up to it, more than just don't give up, just keep being yourself, keep trying, if possible, to someone who is trying to kind of figure out their future, their spot in life as far as like, you know, employment and, you know, um, maintaining mental health. If she's got any thoughts on that, I'd be happy to hear them if she's up to it because I think that could be very helpful for me. Um, you take care. I think it's Aaron that's still here. It's indicating someone's still here. Two people now. Anyway, I didn't get super long with this, and I didn't intend to. If you like what you see, like I say, some of them are music and such, but, feel free to check out the other videos. Very sweet. Kathleen would say, okay, of you, off you go when trying to help someone end a conversation. I, I can kind of hear that she would as well, yeah. So,